This is a story of an earthquake that occurred at approximately 11:39 p.m. on Monday, October 13th, 2025. And because so many reports are saying it was in Chazy or near Chazy, we're going to try to get the record straight. This is the Ridge Road going up and down, and the Valley Road going sideways. This is the intersection in Champlain, about 3 miles or so from the downtown village. And the earthquake occurred in approximately this area. We're going to get it a little more pinpointed here in a moment. But just very near that intersection is where it's reported. We first of all want to thank Carly Newton and the Press Republican. Thus far, they're the only media that we're aware of that I got the story correct. All the weather channels, weather stations in our local area were getting it wrong, and a whole lot of locations were saying Chazy, but we'll show you why they're saying Chazy as we continue with this coverage. I'm not sure how many U.S. Geological Service stations there are around. I believe the closest one is in Chazy. We'll take you to where we think that site is located. And we'll give you some information here off their website. The origin time was 3:39 on October 14th, UTC. We're going to look up and see what the UTC time is. The depth, this is a strange one. 8.7 kilometers, but it says uncertainty, and plus or minus 6.7 kilometers. So that's a lot of uncertainty. The location is 44.926 latitude, 73.467 longitude. Again, uncertainty, and again a big plus or minus of 1.6 kilometers. But we're going to again, we showed you where that latitude and longitude location is, and the magnitude is 2.6 on the Richter scale, plus or minus 0.2. We have checked in the UTC is Universal Time Code. Here's a big view of the map from the USGS, showing where it's located for people who are not familiar with our area. This is upper New York State, northeastern corner. That location where it occurred would be, I'd say, 5 or 6 miles from Canada, and probably 7 miles or so from Lake Champlain in Vermont. So with Google Maps pinpointing this location using the Clinton County tax map, we would see that the approximate location is here. That is owned by Drew's Poultry Grain Farm, just a little bit north of a long property owned by Beverly Dupree. And there's its relativity to the intersection. We're going to try to take our camera there. Again, we want this to be history. It's history of first ever earthquake that I've ever heard of in town of Champlain, and I think it's ought to be recorded accurately, as accurate as we can. We decided to measure as best we could, so with the lake protruding in the Kings Bay area, it's about less than 4 miles to the actual lake, and another 1.5 to 2 miles to the borderline that becomes Vermont. And going north-south, it's about 4.5 miles. 4.5 to 5 miles south of the Canadian border. Before I get too far into the trip, we'll show you that there are portions where you can see where the Ridge Road got its name, the elevation here. And across the road it's gradual, but it does drop down toward the wooded area. So there is an actual ridge here in this portion, but not through the entire Ridge Road. We are now in Chazy on the Ridge Road, and I'm speculating that this is where the USGS monitor is that registered that 2.6 or 2.8 earthquake. It is located, I'd say, less than a mile from the Champlain town line, where those trees are, is about where Champlain begins. And you can see here that, again, it's a ridge here. Drops down on each side of the road. Miner Institute is just beyond there at the corners with the Miner Farm Road, and Miner Farm is in that direction. So this is where we believe the earthquake was registered, because it's located in Chazy. All the media was saying the earthquake occurred in Chazy, but they're wrong. We're back in Champlain, and not much pulling off the side area here, so we're staying in our vehicle. There's the intersection of the Ridge Road and the La Valley Road, just in the distance. And beyond this property line here, and Dupree's on the left, and Drew's Poultry on the right. And back there is, I'd say, maybe 1,000 to 1,500 feet is where we'd say it came in this it came from this direction, looking westerly right now. And we've moved to the La Valley Road, and just a little bit to the right of this, again maybe 1,500 feet in, is where we think the earthquake was indicated. And this is our view toward the intersection with the Ridge Road. Just to give some perspective, the silos from the Ridgeview Farm are, where are they? There they are. So this is where we think about 1,000 to 1,500 feet back, and 1,000 to 1,500 feet from the Ridge Road, and from here from the La Valley Road is roughly the area, but as the USGS map said, within a 1.6 kilometer range of error. So, but this is as close as we can get. But the earthquake did happen in the town of Champlain, which is near Chazy, but it's also near Moors and near Canada and near Vermont. So that's it, our coverage of the earthquake of 2025. And a final look at the tax map. The arrow points out roughly where the earthquake is supposed to have occurred. Obviously it's not a pinpoint location. It doesn't, I'm sure it covers quite a bit of an area when it rumbles. It's not just a one little spot that it's occurring in, but this is what they where they say it was centered. So the area we just left, that little trail you see coming down, is just to the left of there as we're looking at it here, so it would have been to the right of it as we were looking at it. And just a little bit in that cornfield we saw when we were on the Ridge Road, just a little bit beyond that, and just a little bit to the north of that. So in that area, and we talked to some of the homeowners and property owners in the area. Some said they heard nothing, others said they heard a loud boom, but had no idea what was going on, and didn't see any damage. So that'll wrap up finally here our earthquake of October 13th, 2025.